Okay, go ahead.
So we're going to start putting some code out, and I think what Mike and myself we want to figure out is like the initial direction. On the documentation that Tom put there, I think we're going to start by the replicator. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think
so there's the proposal Tom put there is a little bit different than mine, and maybe we should discuss this. So what I had in mind when I tried that code is something that I could rewrite existing code and it would work. So it wouldn't be like something that requires an entirely new infrastructure. I think we can later on abstract a few things on that initial code, but because the code base has so many technical debt right now, I think it will be a little bit difficult, but we can aim to go that direction. But I would like us to start more or less from what I stopped, or maybe improve on that take. Please share your feedback.
I can say something about tone. Do you want to? Do you have any thoughts?
I'm happy either way. Just go with it, and we'll see where we get along. I'm just here attending and maybe listening a bit, but at the moment I'm not really have the time to give my full attention. So go ahead and don't mind me here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because my first the feedback that I first added on the docs merge request was I would prefer us to just show one option, but you know, the first option that you had showing before, which is now removed, was kind of what Gabriel had more in mind, I think. And I don't know if you saw that, Gabriel, but I think it makes sense to start with that, and it will be a little bit easier to transition maybe. But yeah, I guess I'm saying I pushed Tone to remove one, and that happened, but I think we're all okay with going the other way first.
Also, one thing that I had in mind with that proposal is it looks a lot like a message broker or a message queue system or something like that. It pops up in a way. And that's on purpose because I really want us to try Douglas' idea of having a different message queue system in place. Even I think like the natural progression will be to move from the current queue to the unified queue, but then try to compare that with other options. The unified queue would help us reduce the amount of migrations we need to do, but maybe something else like either RabbitMQ or NATS.io or whatever else. Having two final solutions, it's easier to see benefits and downsides. So that, like, I think that this the current proposal allows us to move to either of those directions without a bigger change. So that's what I had in mind when I was designing that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Although one thing that we don't really have in the issue or in the POCs, I think, is the backfill piece. So, I mean, I guess we could just kind of like go in the direction of the registry table SSOT thing that I have, merge request that I have open. But that uses a whole bunch of like, you know, existing code that's like, I don't know, I think I think most of us probably want to improve that system as well. But yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking that, you know, we didn't really cover that side too much, it seems like.
Yeah, I think that any improvement on that side will probably be arrived from the unified queue, to be honest. I don't think that if maybe we can improve something on the code base today, but I don't think we would be able to like to make a big dent on that. Like the unified queue is probably the best way to improve that, because then you have like one way to do it, or well, not for the backfilling at least. Yeah, the backfilling is actually hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's not, it is a concern.
Do you think that the backfilling may be, at least for the repositories, when we, so let's go back a little bit. That one issue where I suggested to do the refactory on how we store the repositories, to split the repository model into at least 3 today.
Mm-hmm.
There will be probably 4 because snippets is also becoming a repository. That will probably help us on the repository kind of data. Making it generalizable will be easy, but that doesn't solve the other types of data types. We are dealing with package files right now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
these are probably something on object storage. I don't know, how is the data of that?
Yeah, so it's kind of like uploads.
Okay.
Because, yeah, so
but
it's kind of
does it
weird.
has its own table, or it's uploads
Yes.
as well?
No,
Okay,
no, it's its own table. Yeah, it's weird because there's like a alias where we alias upload to model. So it's like they're the model of the upload as well as the upload itself, which is pretty strange.
Is it the package files?
Yeah.
Table?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this.
I know, it's weird. So this is what I don't know, I mentioned this one time, but when we first added package files, it could have been done where we just added them as like upload, or I don't know. It's so close to just like, if we could have just made it upload, and then we would have gotten Geo functionality for free. So I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I was, and in a side comment here, the whole uploads, I was actually thinking about that. That should also be refactored, because the whole uploads code base is a big mess.
It's a disaster, yeah.
I also have an issue where I try to put all the inconsistencies between all types of uploads. So in one of them, we save the full path, in the others we save just
Yeah.
a tiny bit of it, and they have no standard whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that complicates on our side as well.
Yeah, this is kind of related to the idea that, you know, maybe Geo should provide, you know, a way to sync repositories, a way to sync blobs, And anything that is like a blob, which is uploads, artifacts, LFS files, package files, like it seems like we should be digging into, the non-geo code base and making it conform to geo, not just for geo, but it would actually like rationalize the code base a little bit more, or it could, because they're all just a file somewhere.
One thing that I was thinking about with the uploads case, at least, but we can try to make this for the others. Ideally, they would live in its own table, so we wouldn't have one table for all kinds of uploads.
Yeah.
But we can do that right now. But what we could do is create database views. So we can have one view for each type of thing that we are trying to synchronize. And that could abstract away or make it live to a standard that works for geo. So that will act as a POC of a better way of storing those files. We could do that, and then we could use that as the source of the data that we're going to use. That's an option, because that doesn't require us to refactor the whole thing. It buys us some time. That's one idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the best idea. But.
Yeah, I think it's worth keeping in mind as a tool we could use. But I agree, like just uploads. Yeah. So interestingly, like, I don't know if everyone knows like the history of uploads, but it used to be that.
This is just a spike, a merge request, so we can follow.
Yeah. It used to be that uploads, like the upload table didn't exist, right? And various models had, carrier wave, like mount uploader file, whatever. And the uploads table was just added as a way to track all of those files. But the uploads table and everything wasn't really used. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't needed by anything really, which is fine. Like it makes sense that, we want to know where everything is and all that. But now there's like now we're in a really weird place where some things directly use and depend on the uploads table and other things don't.
Yeah,
and yeah, go ahead.
You're spot on. I remember that we didn't store those files in the database before. And I think we started storing them because of Geo. Not only because of Geo, but there was something else that I just couldn't remember. But I think Geo was like the biggest concern. They had to backfill the table with the files as well.
Yeah, I was part of that.
Yeah,
effort.
I think the migration to object storage was also another reason to put them on the database. But then they because they wanted both sending files to file system and sending files to object storage, and that wasn't supported by default by carrier wave. I think it needed a plugin. I think it does still need the plugin. So they try to reuse the same code base, and no one really cared about like making it a good architecture out of it. So that's how we ended up with current state.
Yeah, I was like a reviewer on when we added object storage for uploads, and it was like it was becoming a huge mess, but it was also like, I don't know, we were constrained in a lot of ways because everything was like a little bit different. All the uploaders were already a little bit different, and so yeah, it was already complex, and then it added like it doubled the complexity. So here we are, but I don't know. And there have even been efforts to like, you know, get rid of attachment uploader. We're trying to simplify things, but like it takes a lot of work and effort to migrate. So anyways, that's the story of uploads, I guess.
I'm curious about one thing. What do you usually use like to code? Do you use Redmine? Do you use VS Code or okay? Maybe we could try to use one of those pairing plugins that can share the files and do the real-time thing, because I think it will work better than just sharing the screen. We can share it so it's recorded, but it's easier because then we can both navigate on the code base at the same time.
Sure.
And I don't have a good suggestion, but we can try something.
Yeah, okay. I haven't used any of them yet.
I used it something like that in the past, but it was like really 10 years ago. It was something on GEdit or Gobi. And they had like this capability, and it was awesome. It was super powerful. But I expect VS Code to work the same. I think that the last time I saw it, it's called Teleport or something like that.
When I search share, there's a Microsoft plugin called Live Share.
Maybe that's the one. Live Share.
It has 1.5 million downloads.
Yeah, seems to be the right one.
Okay, I'll share my window on Zoom. Whoa. What?
Okay. Here.
Sorry, I have to grant Zoom access. Oh, it will not be able to record until I quit. Can you guys see my VS Code? Okay. So I'm gonna hit share now. I don't know if I have a Microsoft sign in, so I'll go with GitHub, I guess.
Sure. Hmm. Did it fail to sign in for you as well?
No, it looks like it just succeeded.
Hmm. Mine is failing to redirect or something.
Hmm.
Let's try again. Okay. Let's try on Safari. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I pasted my session URL in the Zoom chat.
Let's just try to authenticate here.
Okay.
If I try to use GitHub, after pressing the authorize thing,
Mm-hmm.
it shows me unsupported redirection domain. They can, yeah.
Weird.
Super weird. Yeah. Holy cow. Let's try Microsoft. They had one job. Let's try with Chrome. This is ridiculous. Yay, finally. Okay.
All right.
You just have to try 10 times, and then it works. Guess code, enter user code. Okay. Okay. Yay.
Are you in my session?
I think so, yes.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Cool. The rake task provider is slow. Okay, whatever. Okay, so I went to your POC and I'm looking at the replicators. We have EE app replicators. So I've just added that file. That's all I've done so far. But we should, well, I don't know. Do you tend to do TDD, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't do TDD.
Okay.
I add tests as the last thing, always.
Okay. I think that's fine. But our entry point is going to be, who's going to instantiate the replicator? The package file.rb model?
So the replicator, it lives in its own world. What we do is we have, there's a helper method that goes into the model. So it's just as an easy way to instantiate from the model, passing whatever context information you need.
Okay.
It could also be the case that you want, for example, let's say that the event is generated inside a service class, then that's this service class also needs to have the replicator is instantiated by it. For example, if you're removing something, it's in that service class that you probably have all the context information or something like that. But if you are just creating the file, maybe it's the model.
Okay. Yeah, so when a new package file is created, we're going to instantiate a replicator and call publish and then send in create or something like that?
Yeah, created event or something like that.
Okay.
And that is probably an after create hook.
Okay. Do you want to drive or do you want me to drive? I don't know.
You can drive. I can try to look for the related info to help
Okay.
you. Let me open the POC as well so I can follow what I did there.
So after create, I'm going to say I think I'd rather name the method rather than
yeah, you can
use a block.
do, yeah, you can go for a method. I use a block just as it's one line thing.
Yeah.
Should you use the after create commit hook instead?
Oh, probably, yes.
Oh, after commit, yeah.
I think that has another
All
one
right.
that's new. That's after create commit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
See if I can find that.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, in hindsight, that's pretty obvious. Mm, we're doing,
Are we using the helper so we don't have to create the replicator?
that's, yeah, we should.
I should probably rename that helper to the one Tom proposed. I think it has a better name.
Oh, okay. What was that?
I need to open the issues
Yeah,
again here.
I've got it open here. Let me see. Geo replicable. Is that the one? Actually, no, that wouldn't be it.
I think it's the decide on replicable DSL.
Hmm. Okay, maybe you can look for that. While you're looking for that, I'm going to just put it in as this.
Has geo-replicable. But we need to make it as has geo-replicator in this case. This
Yeah,
is
okay.
the include thing. And the method, I think I will keep the same. It is. So I think I can write here, right? So
Yeah, I
include,
should be able to.
okay, yeah, include as geo-replicator or include
Yeah.
geo-replicator. I can look at the files as well. Let's see. Replicator. Oh, exploring the files is slow.
I guess it would be, huh? Are you still trying to wait for the file explorer?
Yep.
Oh, really? I wonder
Yep.
what it's doing.
Maybe it's copying everything to Microsoft first.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try to
Okay,
look
so after create commit, replicate created does replicator publish created. That seems like enough to start writing a replicator.
I have a question here. For example, imagine that you apply this on the project model that has more than one type to replicate. How you can specify, for example, that you have the weak replicator and the repository replicator? Or we need to separate those in two classes in the future to apply this?
Oh, to separate between the two wiki project and design.
Yeah. If your model has more than one data that need to replicate, how you can handle this?
So there are two ideas. For the repositories itself, the idea is that we are going to refactor them and have one model for each one. But other than that, there is no need to actually glue the two together. So you can, for example, that in the POC, one thing that I had to replicate was cache perg event, and that was not attached to any object, to any model. So that's one way. It's we like attaching those to a model is optional. It will happen in most of the cases, but it's not mandatory. Another way is we can generate different events. So if like you can create a source repository event and create a wiki repository event or something like that. Because you can name the events whatever you want. You can also trigger whatever event you want, and they can relate it to each other. But I think ideally it will be related to one model that doesn't have to be active record, but can be an action model thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the simplest way to put it, I think, in this case is we just wouldn't use the has geo replicator helper. We would have to instantiate the replicator where we need it. I think is the main idea.
Yeah.
Hello, Rachel.
Oh. Hello. Don't
Hello.
mind me.
Hello.
Okay. So,
We're trying something fancy here.
Yeah.
So Mike installed a plugin in VS Code, and I've joined that as well. So I can type at the same time as he's typing on the files and edit the same file at the same time.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's like Google Docs, but native.
For code.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, don't let me interrupt. I'm lurking for a bit just to see how things are going.
okay. Oh, you are able to scroll.
Yep.
For me.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, so did you want to change the include, or are we just going to leave it that for now?
Yeah, let's try with the original file, or then rename it or something like that. So the original one was maybe if you include the original one and open that, I can rename it.
Do you mean this?
Yeah.
From your MR? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if you copied that file as well.
No. No, I did not.
So the MR is here.
Okay, so I'll copy that file in. Let's see.
GitLab Geo replicator something.
Lib GitLab Geo Replicator. Can you see my Explorer, everybody? I don't know.
Yeah. To have the same, follow the same idea of has replicator, maybe just like this, and then we just remove the model integration part, and we need to rename it as well. GeoReplicator has replicator like this. And I don't know any reformat shortcut here.
Yeah, this is a new setup, so I don't know that I have one. Yeah, why did
That's
it,
fine.
is it using tabs? How did that happen?
I don't know.
But it's using tabs.
Or it's using for space. Yeah, you have it as for space.
Okay, let me see.
Do you use editor config plugin?
Insert space when pressing tab.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do have that checked. But for some reason it's 4 at the moment, even though I always have it as 2, so I don't know what happened there. Okay, that's still not really working. Tab size, 2 spaces, yeah?
Yeah, but it's not tab. What we want is space something. If you go back to that file on your bottom bar, there's line pauses space bar. You choose 2, then using space and 2. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Work. Yep.
And then we need to trigger reformat or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know a shortcut for that? Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm super used to RubyMine, so should have some reformat. Yeah.
Screwed up.
Okay.
Oh,
this
here,
is right.
This one needs to go back one. Okay. Oh, almost. What is this? Oh. Okay. GitLab Geo has replicator. Okay.
And then GitLab Geo has a replicator. Yeah.
Okay. And was it called has Geo replicator in there?
with GeoReplicator, but we can go with has GeoReplicator.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we also have a test for that, but let me try to look on the merge request. Yes, we have a test file. No, we don't. No, we do. No? We don't. Sorry.
Okay. But you
We
did
have
have a replicator spec.
Yeah, I'll try to copy that.
Okay.
Spec lib GitLab Geo. And that should be on EE, yeah.
I'm going to switch it back to with GeoReplicator because there's a cop that we'd have to disable because it doesn't like has, it assumes that's a question.
Well, we can keep with then.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then let's rename it as with. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead if you're going to add the spec. Or I could do it if you like.
I renamed the file. And let's just move it to the right place, which should be Geo. Yeah. So the file is in Geo and it's called with Replicator.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing in the folder, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Replicator. With your Replicator, fine. It's actually nice.
Did it go away? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Spec lib GitLab Geo. Spec lib GitLab Geo. Replicator. I think the next thing that we have to do is create the package file replicator, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering if you're able to run tests and such. Can you see my terminal in your VS Code? Like,
I
are you
can
able to
see,
use
but
it?
no, it says cannot edit read-only terminal.
Oh, okay.
But you can
So
type and I can see, yeah.
I should be able to like run this.
I can do this, like request access.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Nice.
Yep.
All right. All right. I'm gonna run this spec. I think we can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, we
just.
don't have the file replicator yet.
I did add the file, but there's nothing in it. So, but it seems like the namespace would be wrong anyways, right? Does it need to be like? Oh no, that would be right. Okay.
We have to put things on initializer as well. Let's see.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, because app replicator is not on the auto
Oh,
load something.
okay. For some reason, I thought anything in app is auto-loaded,
No,
but that might not be true.
yeah, I've probably forgot that on my merge request as well. Let me try. I think it's config application or something like that.
Hmm.
Auto-load. Yeah. Models, badges, hooks, numbers, shit, GraphQL. That's, if GitLab EE. Yeah. EE add models. EE add replicators, yes. EE add replicators. I don't know if you have to restart Spring or not, but
Yeah, maybe. But I'm just copying in the GitLab Geo replicator base class. Oops. Okay.
I did it
That's okay.
before, sorry.
No problem. Oh, wow. Success?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so GitLab Geo Replicator. Yeah, okay, that was testing this as well as some tests for with Replicator. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And we have package file replicator inheriting from GitLab Geo Replicator. We don't have package file registry, but we don't need that yet because we're still on the primary side.
Yes.
When we publish created, we want to make a generic event now, right?
Yeah. So this is where I was stuck. Ideally, when we have the unified queue, we can ditch event store because it will be we know the like how the event has to be stored. Right now, we can't, but maybe we can refactor it so the replicator also does the same thing. But if we just want to move, for now, I think we should create a new event store. And then as a second step, we refactor that and make that part of the replicator. I can actually start looking at this right now.
Okay.
And store. Because what the event store does is, so it generates some logs. It creates a default create method. So in that sense, we don't need that. The replicator can do that for us. And it also skips if it's not the primary or something like that. But it may take a little while to make it more generic and put it in the replicator. But I can start trying this. And in the end, it runs the build event thing, which is what you have to create anyway.
So what are you going to start looking into?
Perhaps you can create a event store, and I will try to make to refactor the event store to be part of Replicator. So after that, we can just copy the code, but we can move forward.
Well, do we even need to do the intermediate step of making a create event store? Like,
yeah, so that's what I was trying to fix. I don't think we actually need those.
I don't think we need to. We can just create the active record or whatever it is, the event. But we do need a new table because it's a new kind of event. But
yeah, but the event store does a few things as well. If you look at the event store file, let me just edit it so you can see. Yeah, there. Oops. It has the create method, which is the interface. And what we are supposed to override is the build event. So the interface does these few things, and we need to port that to the replicator as well.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. I think Douglas created the event store, so do you have any suggestion on how we can refactor this thing?
Mm,
Do you think what we are trying to do makes sense?
yeah, I think that makes sense.
Process.
As far as the new event, what I'm thinking is, the new table is going to look like what Tone proposed as far as having like a JSON field, so we can dump whatever we want into it.
So we're going to do the unified queue right now, or?
Well, I would say, yeah, I know it's kind of yes, but
I'm happy with the unified queue. If we can do that for a new model, but we have to think about how to plug that on log cursor, I think, so we don't change much on the rest of the thing. Which is fine as well.
I don't think that I should start with the unified queue right now, because I think that would be much more work to be done before with the contribute. I need to make sure that it work with the log cursor.
well,
If you
so
can
no,
reuse,
yeah. What I'm thinking is to keep reusing log cursor and geo events. What is it called? Event log. But that the new event that we're creating here, instead of naming it geo package file created event, naming it Geo Replicator events or something like that. And it has the JSON-B field serializing whatever the replicator gives it. So the data for the new replicators is all coming through this one kind of event, but they're all different events, right?
Do you think that we can like mix the unified queue idea with having separate tables in a way, like the cursor right now depends on the main table being geolog events, and that that will point to one of those events,
right.
specific tables.
Right.
The unified queue has the advantage of using JSON, so we don't have to change the schema.
Yeah, or create a new table for every event.
Yeah. So yeah, but then to try to keep with existing cursor the way that it is right now, we simulate the same data structure from the unified queue, but having separate tables. So it's a middle ground from.
what if you create a new table that you have this JSON field, and we point this to the geo event logs state table as we do today. And on the secondary node, you have a new event that you read this new kind of events that come from this table. And he will be able to trigger the appropriated service or consumer to sync data. And in the future, when you're starting migrating, for example, we have 5 data types, and all for 3 of them are already using this new table with the JSON-B. What you need to do is instead of triggering, for example, a repository updated event, you just need to start inserting new events on this table and update the code on the secondary. I think that's the middle term
Yeah,
for
so
both approaches.
So it's the unified queue, but as a
Attach it
separate
to the
event
coherent.
table.
Yeah, attach it to the coherent log cursor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can later on remove the two events cursor altogether.
Yeah, because
just that thing lives. Yeah.
Yep.
So the geocursor would be on every like iteration reading. It's actually like two separate cursors, essentially.
No, it's the same cursor, but you have one different event type that is the unified queue.
Okay, I think that's what where I was going to. So maybe we are all in agreement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think so. We need a new migration. We're going to be adding a table, and it's going to be a new key on Geo event log, right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
You see.
Maybe you can call this table Geo events.
Okay, Geo events, yeah. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Have we not added any events recently? I guess not. Okay. To move it. Oh no, I don't need to move it.
Yeah.
That's right. It's all together.
On the
Yeah.
C. Yep.
That's right. Okay. Well, that's convenient. Okay. Create table. Geo events.
Maybe you can check what to propose it.
Yeah, for the JSON B field, what that looks like.
Yeah, and for the other columns.
Yeah, what other columns do we need? I don't know.
Douglas, do you remember for what to use the event type in the event store? Is it part of the cursor or something like that?
I don't remember. Sorry.
No,
okay.
By the way, if you want, you can also join the VS Code session as well. So we can also poke around with the files.
You need a foreign key to the Geo event log state table. Geo event, what's the name of the table?
Your event log?
Geo event log, yes.
Yeah. Does it look the same inside of the migrations? Okay, I don't know. Why? Oh, okay. So it kind of has to be outside of the create table, right? That makes sense.
Yep.
What's the order? Create. Okay. Column. What is the column? Yeah, it'll be a little weird. So on, oh, okay.
We need to do this in a separate migration.
Yeah, let's split. Let's do it in a separate migration. I agree. Comment copy.
Yeah, I think that we need to. The first argument should be the Geo event log
Okay.
table. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Same on the other.
Should it be on this one as well? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then this one is geo events?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay.
And we need to disable the DDL transaction and command the.
Thanks. Okay. Does that look good?
Yeah, I think so.
And this really just has payload. And then it's pointed to from Geo
I think
event
that
log.
yeah,
Go ahead.
if you can have the created add column as well, so you can start in have some metrics in the future.
Yeah. Mm. Oh no, sorry, this is both, huh? We don't need update.
No. And I think that we also need a event type column, or this will be inside the payload.
Event type. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll always have an event type, right? Is that what we want to call it? I'm not sure now. Yeah, as far as naming, some ideas that we've had are event type, event name. Anybody have a preference on that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Because every event is going to have like a name, right? Or type. We're just figuring out what to name that column. It can be like event type or event name or.
I think event name. Yeah.
I think that's event type. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Created, updated. Yeah. I think I was able to migrate the event store piece. So we now have build event with, and you pass a model and you pass the parameters, and it does the same thing.
Awesome. Okay. I think we have enough for the migrations. So I'm going to run them.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. We didn't put the. We need to add the column to the Geo event log. Mm-hmm. All right, we have the new table. We have the new column on Geo event log, and we have the foreign key.
While Gabriel is typing out that line, could you tell me a little bit about line 93 there?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. If there are no secondary nodes, then creating an event, well, creating an event only makes sense in the context of like the secondary nodes like being there. So I think it makes sense to change it to if Geo is enabled only. Like for example, if you create a new secondary node, you don't start processing any events that have existed before you were there, right? You just start backfilling and start processing events that come in from when you were added. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about the cases where you may have Geo enabled, you've had a secondary, and for whatever reason you've disconnected it. So you're in a state where you have a primary, but all your secondaries are disconnected. And I was wondering what happens when you reconnect them. But I guess that's probably quite a different problem to be dealing with. And probably outside the scope of this in any case.
Actually, no, that's a good question. I think that maybe that's the difference here. So if we check GitLab Geo enabled, it looks for if any Geo nodes exist. Oh, yeah, okay. So, which this would include the primary.
Yes.
So it is correct to check for secondaries, I think.
Yeah, there is the reason why I put the question mark there is that when you're setting up Geo, you start by setting up the primary, and then you do the initial backup, or you do the initial backup and then you enable the primary. I don't know which order we suggest, but until we enable the secondary, there is no replication going on. But if we start generating events when you set up the primary, that means Geo is enabled for our code base. That will generate those events. And there is less things to backfill. On the other hand, someone may be trying Geo, they set up the primary, they turn off the secondary, and they forget to delete the primary. We will still be generating those events. And maybe that's why this code is here, doing it in this way. But I'm not sure if that's something we can continue or not, so that's why the question.
Mm-hmm. I think another thing to consider for the case where you add a secondary, I think it does well. I think it would be simpler to keep it the way it is, because wouldn't it be, if we create a secondary, then we'd have to like save a number of events, and it's currently we prune any events if there are no secondaries, or whatever. So I think it'd be simpler to just say if there are no secondaries, keep it simple, don't produce any events.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for talking through that.
Could we make some inference about the event type from the model name itself, or store it on the model itself? Maybe.
Yeah, the way that Tone and I both started writing it was just to use the classes, but it's like the class names, but
just to keep like compatibility with what we have today, and then we change for everything else, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe we could just extract it to a key that you can like override or something, or
yeah,
like
can
that.
be.
Yeah.
I think this should do the trick. So the idea is that we will pass as the model the class name and then the parameters, and it should do the same thing as the other replicators, the other event stores.
I think that on line 97 should be the Geo event log ID points to the event. The line above.
Sorry? What the line?
97.
Yeah. The event log, we should create the, it's not the event type here, it's the foreign key that we need to point to the event.
Oh, this is the foreign key, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense for the model to can't we just figure that out?
this information, we need the event type when I'm building the event, not when I write into the event log.
I mean, can't we just, does the model has the information of, can we extract that information from the model itself, like from activity record itself? I think if let's say all the models have the same relation name, let's say it is geolog or something like that, something internally does know how to map to the foreign key in a way.
I think that, for example, for me, on line above where you do the event receive model.create, in this case, model points to the package file model.
So this is the class name. So for example, it would be, in our case,
Because it will always be the geo event.
Yeah, for this case, always will be geo events, but for the existing ones, it will be whatever event name it is.
Okay,
For example, repository events or something like that. Yeah, repository create, delete, move it events.
Let me see that.
Wait, are you saying we're going to use this method to handle existing events?
I think that you don't need to care about this right now. And if you decide to move the repository update to this new model, you can migrate this to the new events table as well. What do you think?
Yeah, the idea, let's try to put an example here.
Yeah, I think that I got it. For example, if we want to use this replicator for an old event, we can set the model to the old event, right? That's the idea.
Yeah. Let's use one existing one. Store, let's store. For example, caching validation event store. Oh, this is perfect because it's just one thing. So this is how it's done today. So what we need is build event with, and then we pass the model. It is this one, and then
what I want to do is that make this even simpler right now, and just make it work for the geo events, that the new table that you created right now. And in the future, when we decide to migrate these old events to the new table, we migrate the entire events to this new table as well. We don't need to make this replicator backward compatible.
Yeah, this is temporary. So when you're doing the, for example, you're building the publish created, what will be inside is like this line.
Sorry, can you repeat?
For example, let me just do this. Let's say that you're creating the publish created. So what it will have is like this. Instead of calling and creating the event store, we're doing the same thing, but inside of the replicator itself. And then in the future, this can be whatever else we want. For example, it can be calling Kafka or RabbitMQ or something different.
Yeah, I think Douglas is just saying we shouldn't refactor the existing ones yet. But
I'm not trying to refactor.
You're just making it. It will work, but we're not going to actually refactor them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah, but I think that we are just making the code a little bit more complex, because now we need to know which foreign key we point to on the event log as well. We need to infer this from the model, for example.
Yeah, but we can just add this definition on the model itself. So instead of it being in the event star or here, it is, or we can just pass that as well here, something like that. But if we just write it on the model, then we don't have to do anything. Because the other alternative is, let's open one file here. Can be the same cache something. Cache invalidation event store. Cache invalidation event store. Can you click there, Mike? Cache
Sorry?
validation event start.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So if we don't do that, we have to do something like this. So here we store the event type on the event store. We pass the same data that we already have, and then the build event is what we're doing. So that removes this step from the from what we're doing.
Why don't you go ahead and write what the package file created event code would look like, and then we'll, because there might be a miscommunication here. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do we have that file already or not?
No. So yeah, I actually wasn't sure if we were going to create a new
package file
class for that.
replicator. No, we already have it. So there we have published created.
Yeah.
And how was the name of the new class that we're using now?
Where was the? Wait. Where was that code? In here? Yeah.
Oops. Event with. I'm not finding the file. Let's see. Create two events.
Yeah, I need to create a model.
Yeah. You forget the model. But it will be two events. But it will be namespaced as Geo in one folder and events in another.
Oh, okay.
It's like it will be either like two events or like this.
I think that's
singular.
Singular, yeah.
Yeah, singular, but it will be like this or not. I don't think I don't remember what we are using for Geo. I think it's like this. And the parameters.
Yeah, GEO.log is separate.
Parameters goes here. Let's just see that. Just say that it's like this, and it's the payload, right? So payload.
Although at this point here, I think the replicator would be responsible for producing the payload.
Yeah, so before that would be the event store, and we want to remove the event store. So there is like less files to create.
But I mean, oh, okay, go on.
And like there is not much magic that we can do other than put it in here. And I think the goal here is that right now we are doing this because we have tables, or we have multiple tables. In the future, where we have only the unified queue, we don't actually need this right here. It can be simplified in a different way. Or maybe we don't even need to do this thing, because the publish will know where to store the whole data. So we can skip this whole method. And if we go to a message broker, we don't need that either. So this is just because we have the things in the way we have right now.
Okay. So I guess I'm wondering who actually creates the hash here.
Oh, this is when you call, go back to the replicator file. When you call publish, you pass the event. Oh, we have the event. Yeah, the event name, but it's not the event type thing. Yeah, but this is like created, and then you pass all the data. If you're using the helper, one of the things that it will pass is its own model. So if you are in the project, it will pass the project model, the instance model, so you can poke around on the events. But
Okay.
it also accepts arbitrary parameters that can be useful. For example, when you're removing, you have like two states that are not in the model itself, and you have to pass it. Or when you don't have a model, then you can just pass arbitrary parameters.
Okay. I'm wondering if it would be worth like moving the generation of the params that we need into the replicator rather than at the publish call on the model.
Yeah, I think the parents should be in the replicator as well, the specific one.
Yeah, how it stores it, I think it should be in the replicator because it can vary.
Yeah.
But on the model, you pass the parameters you want as well. So what is in the publish is triggered by the model. So if you want to put arbitrary parameters there, it's in the model that you feed it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So are you saying that it is going to be generated in package file replicator, but we're also like, I don't know, giving the option of adding params at the model? Okay, I see.
Yeah, I think there is one extra thing that we need to add there. Let me just go back and see again. So the replicator publish, it checks if we have model. Oh, we're already using model. That's bad. And your name. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Okay, so it receives model. Let's do it again. This one receives model and other arbitrary parameters. Let's go with model class or event class. We can use class without K, right?
Yeah. I want.
Then,
oh, there we go.
Then this needs to be renamed to event class here and event class here and event class here. Okay. And we don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
And event class should also be here.
Yeah, I think that you should also rename this method to create event with, since we're creating the event, not building it.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't make sense to do like this. I think we need to, it will not create if it's not validated, right? We need to do the validation first. Yeah, why not?
Do we, wait, why wouldn't we just do create instead of build, validate, create?
Can we do like this? Oops. Yeah, it's rescuing. Okay. Yeah, this should be enough. Build if.
Yeah, and then I agree, right? Just name the method create event with.
Yeah.
And then return event here. Yeah, makes sense. Create. Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, okay. You want to,
We'll create the Geo event model.
Yeah, okay.
Great. Create Geo events. Events. Event log. Event ID, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
I guess it is in this case. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks funny, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, class name. Class name is it's a bit better than what we are using before. We should copy that.
Yeah, class names.
Class name. Class name. Class name. Class name. Replicator. Is it event ID?
Is it? Mm.
Yeah, I think that you need to rename the file key on the migration. I think that you created the column Geo event ID.
Oh.
It should be named event ID.
Yeah, event ID.
Okay.
I'm happy with Geo event ID as well.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess, wouldn't it be fine to put this as Geo event ID? Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't become, yeah, like this.
I think that's okay.
Can you open the event model? Please. I think that we need to include the Geo model.
Geo model, yeah.
Yeah, it sets the table prefix for us.
Oh,
No, there's an include we can do.
Yeah,
okay.
Include Geo,
sure.
Geo model. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
you can
the one
drag
on
it.
event log. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Cool. Geo model.
Gabriel, when I change tabs, does it change it for you or?
No.
Okay. So this works it's pretty nice. You can go to the live share extension and then like click on the person, the participant, and then you'll be following them, which is nice.
Cool.
So you can it's kind of like optional.
Mm-hmm. So when it's like, it's all flat, it means I'm following. When it's like hollow in the middle, I'm not following.
I don't know. Is that it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Okay, where were we? We just created belongs to. If we are keeping the geo in here, should we keep it in the belongs to association?
They call it geo event, maybe?
Yeah.
I prefer without the prefix, but I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter for me as well. Belongs to event, and then we need to do the inverse mapping as well, right? Has one geo event log or something like that.
Oh, is that in the include geo eventable, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Geo eventable. Cool. There is one thing missing here, I think. You have to specify what is your key, or not, on the has one.
It doesn't
I
seem
think,
like we do.
but does it work? Well, it looks like it worked because
It seems like it just worked.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I need to pause to get some chocolate. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like we did a rename of something that we should have done everywhere, but we missed probably. Create event with event class.
That's class name.
Oh, that's here. I'm getting this method mixed up with publish.
I think that they're doing exactly the same thing. Just delegating to the other one.
Yeah, are we doing an extra step that is just unnecessary now?
Yeah,
Or,
I think that. Yeah, I don't think that we need this extra step just to pass the class name, because for now we are not doing anything with the old event classes.
yeah, right.
All of them are going to use the new model that we created today.
Right. So we call on package file, we call publish created, and that's it. Well, okay, and that's going to the replicator base class. This is event name is created here. Then we're adding model equals package file. And then we're calling publish created. And then that's calling, yeah. Seems unnecessary.
Because this way it looks like the public interface is the publish model, and we always need to pass the event name and the parents. And if you can just call publish created inside the model or inside the service, it would be much easier.
Mm-hmm. So really the only thing that we want, like if we move this into create event with, we set the model. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Then that,
And make the publish event, publish created method public.
we, okay. Hey, let me just do some comments before Gabriel comes back. So this is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, initialize model. Okay, yeah, I mean, we are doing some other stuff in here. In the first part, checking event supported. Um, Although I don't know that we need to do that either.
Yeah, it's not clear to me as well.
Yeah, because if you implement publish created over here, but then you call like publish deleted, then you get no method error instead of a event unsupported, right? Which should be good enough.
Yeah.
Gabriel, come back from your chocolate. Okay, I'm going to undo what I just did, and then I'm going to commit something so that I can do different changes. Where was it? Package file. Wait, where did we actually? Don't we need the event type in here somewhere? I'm really confused by the names.
Yeah.
I'm back, so I decided to get some meal. I'll be hearing, but a little bit away.
I think that we have a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Just a quick one. How do you imagine will be the public interface of the replicator? For example, we need to call publish created, or how will be the public interface to trigger the?
Yeah, it's published. Let's get back to the POC here. What I have already is get a good example. Yeah, for example, this is what I did on the upload one. It's on the after star and then replicator.publish. In this case, it's just passing the event name, but in some cases you probably need to pass some extra parameters.
So yeah, so Gabriel, what we were just looking at is it seems like we have one step of indirection in the replicator that it doesn't really seem totally necessary.
It's the publish and publish the other thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So why I did that was first to be able to log stuff, log like in actual log files if we want to do that. But this is also it should be like the only, this interface shouldn't change if we decide to change the communication channel itself. So it's an extra step. Yeah, it does also some other validations, like to make sure that people are not just building methods, but we do some validations there as well. I'm not sure if this is 100% useful, but yeah.
I see. Okay. So it does. Yeah. Okay. It does introduce a little bit of confusion at first if we aren't using it.
There's one extra thing here. Publish created should accept parameters. We don't.
Right. I was just so I committed what we had, and I was just kind of exploring, like, if we were to remove that step, what would it look like?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
No, I guess I wonder if we could remove that step to begin with. But
yeah, what I had in mind is that when we move to something that doesn't require like building different classes, we can just remove these extra publish event name methods and keep just that one, for example.
What I don't like on this approach is that we need to, for example, every place that you need to call the replicator.publish deleted, we need to pass the parents as well. If you need to add an extra argument, you need to, for example, if you call this method on 3 or 4 services, for example, you need to change them in 4 places. If you have the publish and the consumer as a private methods, that only be called to create or to publish the events, depends on if you are using the Postgres or the Kafka, whatever. And you have the public methods like the publish created that responsible to build the parents and pass it to the publish method that you build, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, to memorize the params thing.
Yeah, I would like to have the parents thing only one place, not spread in a service or in a model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't actually have a good suggestion here. If we start it on the class itself, as we are doing, for example, with model, I think we are restarting it on the class. I don't. No, we're not. But if we store, we can assume that it's there, and when we are calling, we just reassign it. But then if at some point we reuse the replicator and we don't reassign it correctly, maybe we're storing dirty data or something like that. Yeah, I don't have a good idea. I think what I had in mind is that if we specify everything that we're receiving, it makes it easier to understand the code, or I don't know. I don't remember why I did that way.
Would you mind if we try continuing just the other way and see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to be eating lunch or something? Is that or dinner?
Yeah, and I'll be around.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so like I said, to Douglas, I've committed what we had up to the point where you left. So we can explore seeing what it looks like without the publish method. Yeah, so that's where we're going to try now. So it's an event name.
probably on the event name, you need to specify, for example, package file created, because.
Oh, of course.
Okay, something that I remember right now, and maybe it would be good if you can add a unique. No, I'm done with those things. Forget about it. Never mind.
Okay, okay. All right, so here we're going to call publish created, just the method. That's this, setting event name to package file created. Class name, this is something that we're doing just because, well, okay, well, you know what, why don't we try it like, super simple as well. If we don't have that, which we don't need necessarily to begin with, then it starts to look really nice, I think. But then here, I suppose if we could just put in a default. That's weird or not. Oh, okay. So this really needs to be this data needs to have everything that we need on the other end, right? So we need like the ID of the model, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And but Replicator doesn't have it. Just has model, right?
When you initialize the replicator using the has replicator thing,
Yeah.
we assign model to the replicator.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, the instance. Okay.
Yeah, we assign the instance, so you can like do model.id and get the ID.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, should it be named this? Model.id? Guess it could be. And this is created. Okay, so maybe it's worth, so I think actually like, it does simplify things a lot, doesn't it? I mean, we're kind of like bypassing these things and this thing. And we've got this.
What I need to, the model ID should be inside the payload. The event name is event type.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is actually on the create event with, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, great. And maybe instead of the class name, you can pass the event type and the payload.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, the class name. Yeah, class name will be the Geo event.
and this is going to be in here, seems like.
Yeah, that it will not work. For example, if you pass the repository update event, it doesn't respond to the event type call.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm wondering if we need to worry about these old events right now.
Yeah. I am finding it a little confusing, to be honest, but I think it was nice that Gabriel was thinking ahead. It was like that, right? And it was params. So
we can keep the default Geo event there. I think this is nice addition.
okay. But the params for repository update event was going to contain everything it needs, I guess. So event, in our case, for the new events, for Geo event, we need to set params here like we're doing with event name.
Yeah,
and then
one thing that
this is payload. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing that we can do is create a different method that is not just create event with, that just follow the new unified queue approach, and that fills up a few things for us, for example. So this is like the more generic one that will work with the old events, but we can make a new one that already follows some structure for the new one.
Yeah. Okay.
And I need my chocolate bar. I will be back.
Yeah, go ahead. So in this case, what we've actually kind of started to write is almost like what the new method would look like inside of, like this is the, like you're saying, this is the generic one. And it's called by something else just for the new events. Now, I don't know what this is going to be called.
I think that, I don't know. For
Is
example,
that too much?
Me as, I might, for example, engineer from another team, open this class and, okay, which method I need to call? The create Geo event or the create event with?
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like some interaction and can cause some confusion to other developers.
We can also help then by creating a generator that just creates like a template file with a few suggestions and maybe commented code there. So it creates like the generic replicator or something like that. It's an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
I was thinking an interface like that. That's fake paste.
Do you think this is, are you saying this looks okay?
I can't paste here on Zone, I don't know why. Okay, we're passing the channel. Oops. Passing the channel on the self-serve framework thread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
We can make it even more organic, like Gabriel suggested in this implementation. Maybe the replicator can infer the event type prefix based on the replicator class or some kind of attribute type that you can define on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what you're showing there makes sense. And I don't think we even need to write write the things that would make it even nicer, like inferring the event type. As long as it's clear like this about like
And in the future, if you decide to move to a new adapter like Kafka, we just need to change the publish method to start publishing events on the
right.
on it.
Yeah. So I mean, you're kind of inverted what we had before. So instead of the generic publish method calling the specific method, now we implement the specific method calling the everything calls through the one. I don't know if Gabriel has any thoughts on that, but I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't I don't have any thoughts other than we should test and see if it works.
Okay. It's just completely different.
I think I remember why I had implemented the event supported thing and why I had like to describe the existence of an event. It's for the geolog cursor part. The idea I had in mind is that you'll register the supported replicators, and the cursor will like infer all the events that it can handle based on the replicators and not based on something that is hard-coded. That's why there's like this reflection support on the replicator itself.
Mm.
But maybe we can do that in a different way as well.
I think that if you want to do this, we can still do this using this interface. Just need to check if you are passing a supported event name here.
So we keep the how you define events, but use that check inside the publish here, but not as a thing when you're calling events itself. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's try.
Okay. You're saying something like this.
I think you need a different create event with to do what we're trying. It's the other class. It's the create geo event or something like that.
Okay, just deleted that.
Maybe you have, yeah, create event geo event with, and then you can do this. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Something like this. And then payload as well as is that the idea? Oh, there's here. I don't know if params. I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, no. I don't think. I think this is. We should just do whatever we're gonna do in here inside of.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Inside of there. Excuse me, sorry. Should it be like this?
Yeah. You can also do what you're doing right there, and just pass like payload with the double splat at the beginning, and it will expand. So you don't need to actually mutate it here, but you can do the other thing as event name column event name. Yeah, this will work. Or it should work as well.
It'll combine this into the params.
Yeah, it expands as a key value thing.
Okay.
But I think that we need to. Okay, the event name, you need to set the payload attribute to be the actual payload.
Oh yeah, payload, comma, and then this thing as it will expand internally, right?
No, what I mean that in the payload. Oh, okay, I think that I got it. Okay, yeah, no, that's right.
Just in front of the payload. Oh, I don't think so.
I think that view works because we're using a named parameter here, payload. We need to test.
Payload is okay. Payload is just a hash. Let's assume it's a hash, but
Right like this.
And then you have
Oh, that's why. Yeah, payload is a hash with payload
with another hash.
So that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, payload would be. Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't use the word payload here.
Yeah, maybe paras.
If it's just we can just use we can just put the actual payload. So we can just pass the actual params. Do we need to name it in any way?
All right, like this, you mean something?
Yeah. So whatever comes from it goes by, and we can get the hash at the end anyway.
Okay, so now we've named.
And then payload will be like with double splat. on the publish on the method signature with double split, like this, and then it accepts value whatever.
But even
params are, yeah, can be params.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, and event name should be outside the payload.
Oh, does it need to be?
Yeah,
right?
we start it in its own column.
And then payload can just receive params without the splits, and it will be what we want. Yeah, we can remove the hash, the
curly brackets.
Yeah.
Well, we got there, guys. But I'm still looking at that event name is outside of payload here, and that's fine because event name comes out here, and then you get payload with params from here. Okay, so params means two different things here, so maybe I don't know, maybe it'd be worth naming this something else too.
I think that payload it's fine here. Just payload.
Okay. Yeah, it's confusing, but payload, I think it's the best name for this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. We don't have any like test. I'm just going to try to call it something. Wait. Maybe it's not the best way. I can use the factory in Rails console, right?
Not on development. I don't think we loaded the factory on development.
I have to require it.
I don't think we even load the gem on development. Oh, maybe we do.
Factory box.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can I just use it though?
Hey guys, I need to drop. I will review the merge request later today.
Okay. Thanks a lot for joining.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
No, it's not.
Did you actually push the code?
No. Would you like me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can be like the first iteration, not the current one.
Okay. Do you know if I have to? I actually.
No, you don't have to start.
Yeah, I can just push it as is, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't use it.
I think we download the actual factors. I remember there is somewhere in the code base where you initialize factor bot that says, do this unless, do this only if it's an environment test.
Okay.
Maybe it's on the initializer or something like that. Or it's part of the support helper, spec helper that initialize it.
Okay.
Perhaps it's spec supports.
Perhaps it's what?
On the spec supports folder.
Oh, support.
Yeah.
Is that this one, you think?
Yeah, I think you need to run everything. Otherwise, you don't have that loaded. Define definitions as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I tried to use that in the past. That's why
Yeah.
I know a little bit of how it works.
Oh, boom.
It's actually extremely useful to use that to generate stuff in development.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Although I'm building random things in my development database. Oh yeah, factory package file is here. I guess I'll just pick this one. Oh. Well, it almost worked, but not quite.
Do we have seed support for that? Maybe something that
Yeah.
sits.
Doesn't look like it, if this is where they're supposed to be. Yeah, we don't.
We can also create an issue for them to implement that.
Yeah, man. All right, well, instead of doing this, I'm going to start writing a test because we've
Makes sense.
we've got factories and everything, so for the tests. I guess I'm going to try to write like a from package file if we, do I not have that open? If we create a package file, do kind of like a, I don't know, integration test to see that the event is created. What do you think?
So one of the benefits of this replicator is that we can completely bypass the actual queue if we want. Because the idea is that it receives the event, and at some later point it will read from the queue and call the process method.
Mm-hmm.
This middle part can be bypassed, but at the same time it can't right now because we want to make sure it's being stored there. I don't think it needs to be integration tests. We can do this as a unit test for the replicator, perhaps, but it will work almost as an integration because it will create the model and it will check on the queue if that's there or not.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Okay. EE app replicators.
And the test will be more or less like when something is created, we expect the whole block to create a new model on the database, something like that. We expect it to persist this event. And this whole idea of persisting an event can also be extracted as a helper something, a spec helper something. That the idea is you would like code the test as something like expect this to generate a Geo event with this information, and we can assume everything. But maybe the first iteration is to write the actual test and then extract into something that's reusable.
More generic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in EE spec models, so EE spec replicators. Oh, that's going to be. Oh, yeah. package file created.
Do we need any other attribute there?
I don't know if it would be in the same test, but we would check for model ID, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I would do everything on the same one.
Okay.
I think it makes sense. These things are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Model ID. We do have the model ID. Model ID. Yeah.
Migrations are pending. Are they?
Yeah, we created a bunch of new tables.
Yeah, but I thought I ran them. I think, is it just the DB test prepare that we needed for some reason?
Maybe the DB migrate you need to pass like Rails env to it. Sometimes I have to do that, like DB migrate and Rails env test. Sometimes I don't. I don't always understand this.
Yeah. Okay. It's a unit test, yes.
You need to define the default type of the test, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now it goes.
Did we created the class, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Spring needs to be restarted?
I don't know. Yeah, it's better to just restart it.
It's the same same error as getting on the console.
No.
Wait, what? So how do we?
I guess we have to fix the the factory. Okay, we can use local and XML or POM or something like that.
Yeah, actually, since I don't, let me look at because they had like a more specific
package file. Trace package.
Oh,
Oh, they have for each type of, you can just say package and Conan package or NuGet package, whatever. And it will do everything that we need.
okay. I don't even know some of like what POM is. I'm gonna go with NPM. Yep.
POM is Maven.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Maven. It's Java. Java. Yeah, it's Maven.
Okay. Right. And that would be defined on the package file replicator. Oh.
Oh, we need that will not work.
Darn it.
Okay. We need some sort of prefix. And the prefix, we can extract the prefix from the class because it's called something replicator. And we can, but I think to make it simple, we can just define something that right now you have to define the prefix, but then it can infer the prefix by the class name.
Okay.
Let me try to code the thing that does it automatically, because I think it will be faster.
Sure. Yeah.
No, it's not titleized. How do you turn something that is like a title into params? Rails has
underscore. If usually, I think underscore turns classes into
like this.
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, it's like the inverse of camelize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, underscore. Package file Replicator. Or I can new. It's just event prefix. Oh, I don't need class.
Oh,
I just need name. Yeah, name.
Yeah.
Just self.name. Package file. So whenever we need like the full thing, we can use like event prefix plus the event name.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually very useful. I just downloaded an extension that does something that I can do on RubyMine. It is generate the yard documentation, but I'm not used with the shortcut. It's Option Command Enter. Okay, Option Command Enter. Yeah.
Nice.
This is a string. Yeah. I don't remember where you need that.
Well, publish.
Perhaps it's here. You need to append, right? Oh yeah, you can pass only the first name of it. just create it,
Right.
and then we can append the rest of it. Yeah.
So, well, okay. So now we've kind of done where you were going earlier, but in the reverse. But do you think? I don't know. Sometimes I think there's value in just using the whole name. It's more searchable and all that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
yeah.
know.
One maybe because I use RepMine, I have a few other things that it does for me. For example, I can click on like publish, and there is like find usage. So it lists every piece of code base that use that method calling that class. So I don't have like to search for a specific string or a specific method name. That helps a little bit because it can understand what is calling what. It does know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's fine to keep going this way. Oh yeah. So we're kind of in the middle of a test.
Yeah, I don't remember what triggered this. I just did the one part and I forget where it broke.
So yeah, we were here. Okay, so it works as far as passing the supported events. It didn't end up creating a Geo event. And where is that supposed to happen? Here. Oh, wait.
Oh,
yeah. We need GeoNodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also need to make it fake as secondary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me just copy this. Oh, do we need stub license features?
Maybe that stub current geo will do the trick as well. I don't think we are checking license with what we are doing.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and this is actually before block. And we need a primary? No, we need to be. No. Oh, we need to be a primary. No, we don't want.
Oh, we
because we're creating the event.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
What is the let it be? What it does?
It's like set. It's like the new set.
Mm-hmm. Self for new class.
Oh, I think we just forgot to update this line maybe.
It's event type, no. What's going on there?
Wait,
So
what is event dot self? Why do we need self in there?
Maybe class, event class. But the problem is event is new.
Oh, event is nil. Oh, okay. So we're rescuing something. So this
Yeah.
probably just errored. Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't think we need the event. We just need the class. The class should have. We don't need the event type anymore because we can build it.
Mm.
We have the event name and we have the event prefix, so we can build this, and it will conform with event log. Is that correct?
But event name is in the params?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Params.
Okay. We don't have the log error because that's an include on the event store. Let's look at this again. So the event store includes GitLab Geo project log helpers, but we don't want to use project log helpers because that's not always a project. I think we just want to use log helpers. So the replicator should have a geolog helper. I've edited the file already.
Okay, great.
So this log error should work now.
Okay.
Maybe validation?
Yeah, probably. Let me just re-raise here so you can see what it is. Oh. Okay, that wasn't quite right. Wait, unknown attribute event name for geo event. Oh, it's event type. We changed it to that.
But still event name.
No, I mean on the here, the column name is event type.
Yeah. Maybe change it to event name.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to roll back.
We do already use
event type.
Event type. Yeah, I mean, it would kind of match up. It would make sense. So maybe.
Yeah, let's change to event type then.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. Did I do that? What did I just do? Oh, okay. The shortcut is different than what I think it should be.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We use event type on the event store. So
yeah,
all other events already use event types. Is that what you're saying? No, they don't have a name. The event type is just hash stars migrated event. The idea is that we're going to remove all the event stars anyway. I think we can call it event name because it describes it better. And like this is legacy code that we want to improve anyway.
All right. Okay.
Because it's not actually a type. We're not instantiating anything over it, or a name is actually a better description for it.
Fair enough. Okay. Oh, I do need to take off. So after I rename event type to event name wherever necessary, I'm going to commit and push what I have.
Okay.
I assume
I need
it's
to stop
pretty
as
late
well.
for you. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we can just call this meeting a success, I think. I think we got through a lot. So, and we have a test that's starting to come along for the replicator creating an event. And that will have been a lot, I think, for one day. And we've talked about some design considerations between you and I and Douglas. So yeah, I think that's going well.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to, yeah, I'm just going to finish renaming these things and I'll push up what I have. So I think we'll call it a wrap.
Yep.
All right. It was really nice working with you, Gabriel. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow as well. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.